I'd like to explore a little bit what it's like to be a new, young global leader from your perspective.
The leader of the UK right now, David Cameron, was named the young global leader in 2006.
Evan Newsom, the young, energetic, innovative mayor of San Francisco. He is also among those who were the young global leaders here at Davos this year.
But my commitment will be to add value. We'll be part of the Young Leaders Initiative.
This is Merkel, Tony Blair. They were all young global leaders before. What we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.
But I can't work many hours because of my anxiety.
You have anxiety?
Yes, I do.
What causes anxiety for you?
Lots of things.
Like what, for an example?
Anything that doesn't agree with me, basically, or see things the way I do and see the good in things. That I just think that society is lost and just a bunch of hateful bullies.
She's turned you into a woman.
I am not a woman, Jesse.
Yeah, you act like one because you're afraid. You're beta.
No, you're a beta.
No, you're a beta, Michael.
No,
Beta.
you are a beta.
Beta.
I am a normal man. You're a beta man.
No, you're not normal. I could think of many words to call you. Normal is not one.
I'm putting this on the bully list.
He's on the bully list now. Look out. Look out. He's on there's a lot of reasons to be hopeful for the next generation. Right there. There's a glaring example of the next generation putting you on the bully. It's almost like I thought it was a parody, but unfortunately it's not, because I know a bunch of guys like that. Really, it's weird because even when I'm talking to them, I think it's a parody, but it isn't. Now something does stink in the crypto market, and we've all sensed it. We've all sensed it during this bull run. Even this morning, I think I woke up and was 87. Not that it was much of a recovery, but it just wasn't going down constantly. And just this pre-morning dump here. Where did we get to? Where's my mouse? 87. We almost got to 88K. And of course, we can't have nice things in this market. So it was drastically reduced, and we almost had a full-on bearish engulfing candle in the midst of nothing. Like there's nothing really going on. So I know it's a lot of copium to even say the word manipulation, but it's going to seem kind of normal, when the dust settles. Whenever do you remember in 2021 the saying was, the price is like a beach ball held underwater. You can only hold it underwater for so long. Yeah, I got the Michael Saylor. So go ahead and use your Michael Saylor emojis if you want. If I get more members, I can get more emojis, and maybe I'll do a digital Manhattan. So you can put an emoji of Manhattan, cyber hornets. And it'll seem apparent once the dust settles of what it was, right? Kind of like, would you remember in 2024, was it 2024 when the ETFs started buying? And we were all like that black guy behind the tree, right? Here it comes. Here it comes. The big money, the smart money is buying. Here it comes, right? And then it kept on dumping. And then it took about a month or so, or a couple months, to find out that it was just basically a wash trade with what the hell, the first ETF, pseudo ETF. What was it called? GBC? Can't remember it off the top of my head. It was like they were unwinding their whole business into the ETFs. Just a wash of sorts, but with higher selling pressure. But it just really was from one hand to another. But it took a while. What was that thing called? What was that trust called? GBCD? What the hell is that called? I don't pay much attention to these things because I always feel like it's just a fiat version of Bitcoin. So it's like it has no interest to me. Even the ETFs, you know, to me it's more like a honeypot. When you really Grayscale, thank you, eMoney. That's what it is. Yeah, Grayscale Trust. They're kind of unwinding their positions into the ETFs, and then we found out that it was that, and then it kind of makes sense. It didn't like heal the wounds. That's where the emotional wounds started, because that was the beginning of massive inflows equal price go down technology, right? That was the nexus of this whole scenario. And then it kind of broke out, but not in the way that you'd expect with that amount of inflow. Like the sheer scale of the inflow is more than we ever imagined in 2021. We weren't sitting there. Even in our wildest fantasies, we never thought we would see the billions and billions and billions on a daily basis coming in to Bitcoin. And then the insult to injury is that, you know, when it comes in and the price dumps, right? Then you're just scratching your head going, well, what the hell? And part of the copium is, well, it's whales selling. My two thoughts on whale selling is they're basically, it's binary. One is they're dummies, they're nerds, they just got lucky, so they don't know what they have, nor do they value it, and they'll just, you know, check out for some fiat blood money. I don't really think that wholeheartedly. I do think they're a bunch of lucky nerds, but I do believe that staying in this holding for as long, you do get orange pilled. It's like these guys are not orange pilled, if you know what I mean. So maybe they are manipulating the market with selling covered calls. Maybe if that, you know, delta hedge type of theory, it makes some sense, right? The selling pressure. I also don't think they just have enough power to do that. But, you know, again, what do I know about how the inner plumbing of the market works? JB Smith, your CAGR video gave me Bitcoin nightmares. Yeah, it was a sobering video, because I mean, if you haven't watched it, go watch it if you want nightmares. Now, there was nothing out of the ordinary. You know, it was just simple CAGR math. And we got to be aware of that CAGR math, because that, to me, the diminishing CAGR is the downfall of Bitcoin. There'll be no reason for anyone to be in Bitcoin if the CAGR diminishes any more than it actually has. So, not to give the video away, but the last CAGR was 16%. We're sitting at a 16% CAGR from 2021. 16% CAGR is inflation and debasement. It's really zero, right? If the dollar is debasing and inflation is going up by a factor of 16%, and Bitcoin's, you know, remember the hurdle rate everyone talks about? Well, the hurdle rate that people talk about is 30%, right? Roughly 15% above inflation. Now, if that is what Bitcoin should be, it will stay in the pole position, right? But if the 16% CAGR is all it's returning, then people will have to move their money, and they'll probably move it into maybe AI, Tesla. Like I don't see AI going anywhere, right? It's not like they're going to go, this. I don't know about this AI thing. It's just a little wacky. Let's just shut her down. It's probably too late for that. So probably there's enough upside to it to go pretty orange pilly total retard into it if you have that type of fiat blood money in the TARDFI system. But so the main takeaway of that video was the diminishing CAGR, right? So one thing about the broken cycle is that we are seeing diminished returns in everything, upside, downside, right? But the biggest one is that diminished CAGR, because 16% from the last cycle, we've never reproduced the past cycle's CAGR. And this is what will give you nightmares. The cycle before that, 35, 36%, then 16%. That's a 50% haircut in the CAGR. Now, like I said in the video, I'm a probabilitarian and pattern recognitionist. There's really a 50% haircut in CAGRs moving forward. And that will put a significant damper in all your markets are broken. There's no second best. All your markets are broken, right? Because it is the CAGR that is the jet fuel for anything built on Bitcoin. It's what makes Cyber Manhattan. It's the CAGR, but it's got to be at 30%. Now, it's the humble opinion of this piano that you will probably see more content on CAGRs. Maybe, I don't know. I always tend to think I'm a little bit ahead, only of my cat-like curiosity, really, nothing more than that. And I don't subscribe to the beach ball anymore. I did in 2021 because I was a little bit more naive. I thought that there was more of a free market going on, because we were in the Wild West. There was wild swings to the up and down. Now there's just kind of constant swings to the downside amidst crazy buying. So the chance of that beach ball slipping and popping up, I'm not sure. I just don't. Maybe it's that time in the market. Maybe it's, indicative of, the narrative, right? That everyone kind of starts rethinking things. But I'll tell you one thing. There was not one part of me in 2021 depths of the bear market, like 2022, 15, 20K. In fact, it was probably when I was the most excited, because I am a contrarian by nature. So when it is doomsday, I get pretty excited based on the facts, the math, the CAGR history that we were seeing. Now, that whole CAGR math is different if you can time buys or DCA. It's slightly different. But the overarching concept of a diminished CAGR will put brakes on adoption. However, if you bought at 15.5, you remember when I wrote the song, It Feels Like the Bottom, at the bottom, and then put it out? I mean, your CAGR's different. You almost got a 10x off of that, which is historically why people would even remotely consider the risk, right? So we have to take in, risk-adjusted behavior. If the upside is mathematically diminished, then the risk appetite goes down or seeks others. That's what I'm saying. It's like you kind of seek others. That's right, Terry Crow. If I didn't see your comment yesterday, I would have forgot. So Terry Crow said, hey, where's my Michael Saylor emojis? So I put in, I did. I was like, oh yeah, I said I'd do it. I should probably do it. So there they are, the Michael Saylor emojis. We need more members so I can open up more emojis. They only give you, they break you out when you have more members. And then when your members die off, they take away. It's a constant barrage of punishment in the YouTube sphere. Tough Cookie, are we in the banana zone? Yeah, doesn't it feel like the banana zone? Don't you feel like we're in the banana zone? Maybe inverted. Maybe the inverted banana zone. Plus we have like the Japan rates on the 19th. What is that? What is it? Is it the 16th? So on Friday? Yeah. Friday. Our only hope here, if you want to, if you want some hopium, is that there is a chance on December 26th where the options trade expires. Max paying 95, right? So what you have is these covered calls at 95. Now, some are different, but the majority are 95. So what the market likes to do is to annihilate people at 95, because at 95, all the options expire worthless. And there is a chance that there could be like a volatile little pump on the 26th, maybe up to 98.3. The what? That's right, bull market rejection zone. So we could maybe see like a pump up to during like the dead of Christmas, 22, 23, 24, just kind of getting up there to expire these options worthless. And then a subsequent $3,000 pump up to maybe even higher. Because, I mean, on the daily or the 4-hour chart, we could go even to 100K, 101, and then reject down and close under 98.3. The what? That's right. Bull market rejection zone. So all we want to do is close that candle above 98.3. JB Smith, you know, I find it unfortunate that YouTube has changed their handles. You know, like who in the YouTube woke table read said, you know what, we should go back to handles with their original name. You know, screw the avatar name, like Debbie Does Dollars, you know, whatever you made as your name. Let's go back to like gibberish, JBS Smith 4477. You know, these things are like, why do they change your names? So it's hard for me to even remember, right? But he says this cycle's been hard on everyone, long-term Bitcoin hodler, and with the current system, Bitcoin feels like the only chance we have to get out of the rat race. Just worried that the cool kids, we're just worried that with the cool kids now, ... Oh, little cliffhanger. Thanks, JB Smith 4477. Yeah, well, that's a lot of the reason why most people found Bitcoin outside a number go up technology was it did feel like an escape hatch. But like that other video I made, hasn't my greatest fear come true? You know, once you let the cool kids in, they change the booze, they change the music, they change where you can get the booze, they change who comes in, who comes out. The rules change a little. And to a certain degree, I still believe that the ethos of Bitcoin is intact and it can survive. But you always, what creeps in the back of my mind most of the time is that these rent-seeking reptilian parasitic class that we call the government play to win at all costs. And there's very little tools and weapons that get through their dead, soulless hands, right? So this is where it becomes almost paramount in humanity's history. This would be the first time that something got past the rent-seeking, reptilian, parasitic, corrupt class of unelected psychopathic elites. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful right there. It'd be the first time, you know. Every now and then a president comes around and kills the bank, you know, old Hickory Andrew Jackson. Or that's what history says, but, you know, I don't believe most history. But we'll just go with that. So we're really up against a novel idea in Bitcoin, and it's part of that one of the video was that some of the ethos has been eroding due to our lust for it. When you're in the lust bubble of any relationship, you don't look at the red flags. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. She drank too much last night. It's a one-off, right? Yeah. You know, you take a look at it. But there was this video. Oh man, do I have it? Did I save it for later? This one's good. I did save that. Maybe let's see here. No, I didn't. But I do believe this. Every politician with ties to the World Economic Forum should be arrested on suspicion of high treason. Anyway, it was Paul Atkins talking about, can't believe I didn't, maybe it's in a different folder, about Bitcoin. But when he started, I thought it was about CBDC, of how transparent and controlling it could all be. We know everything about every purchase and where it was and who did it and where it came from. I'm like, is he talking about CBDCs? And then no, he was talking about Bitcoin. It was weird because, and then in the comments, I could see all the blind orange pillars, looking past it, cherry picking some of the things he did say that kind of, tickled their taint, but not embracing the red flags that actually existed there. So that's one of the things that I've been wrestling with too. Is like, do you really want, let's say I did have some Bitcoins, which I don't, lost them all. Do I want everyone to be able to know that? Know what I have and where I have it? The answer is no, right? So that's why I think that the importance of this samurai wallet thing. Now, in my bullish delusion, it's a great redemption arc. If in the 11th hour, Keon Rodriguez, if that's his real name, awaiting jail for the crime of protecting people's privacy. All of a sudden, the phone rings, his landline, as if there's still landlines. Ring. Keon reaches for it with his shaky hand. Hello? Hello, it's Donald Trump here. I'm going to pardon you because I'm such a benevolent leader. In the 11th hour. And then I would say that would become the wallet of choice. I've been doing my own due diligence on the Samurai. There's a good chance that if I had any Bitcoin, I would probably use it. Now, I wouldn't do it now because it seems like a little bit of a honeypot. But once it's exonerated, then maybe it becomes the wallet of choice with a great little redemption arc to boot. Now, there is, if we want to, be like the traders with affiliate links to trading platforms, we can put in a little ball. Oh, it's a 4-hour chart. Yeah, I know. Matty B, it's the noisy little so-and-so. What are you doing? Making patterns, astrology on the 4-hour chart. I know. But hey, when there's nothing going on but dumpy dumpersteins, we got to make mountains out of molehills, right? So, if you've been watching this channel long enough, the probability of this pattern, the price probability that is, well, you take the ball, you slide it all to the breakout point, and, well, then we're all at 81.5. We'll put her in there, 81.5. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it wicked down to 80 and then maybe closed at 81.5. But what the hell do I know? It would be after 84, obviously. It needs some more eyes too, right? Just for the 24/7 live stream. I think it's been like over a week now. The computer seems to be holding up. It died like last Monday or Tuesday. It's an old computer, like it's Intel. And you would think that it would still, be a very functional computer, being an Apple, Intel. But then because I have no concept of time, because time goes by in passport renewals in my life now. It's like, it's almost brand new, this computer. Why is it so shitty? Now, wait a second. It's 2018. It's almost 10 years old. So the fact that it, does run a 24/7 live stream, it takes up a lot of power for these Intels. Because when I started this channel, it was on that computer, right? Which at the time was, 3 years old. And I thought it was like the king of computers. Although it had a ton of glitches. It wasn't until I got the M1 that I'm like, oh my God, the technology, the speed of which a computer can handle, the workload a computer can handle, is just incredible from Mac to Mac. Even like I could get a mini Mac and it would be 10 times the power horse of this Intel. And this is like, at the time, it was like 32 gig, 16 gig of RAM. It was like a power horse. Like, is that power horse? Anyway, now it's like it can just do this. It can just do a 24-hour live stream. Can't touch anything else. When I go to adjust it, it freezes. It's like, don't touch me. I'm pulling a 24/7 live stream. It doesn't like it. And so, yeah, it does get adjusted. Tell you, if you guys tune in to that 24-hour live stream, I took the comments down the front page. Do you prefer the comments up there, or is the comments on the side just as good? I don't know. It's up to you. If I get any comments on, put the comment section up, so you can actually see it, and you don't have to like turn the comments on. Because in my TV, if the comments aren't there, I have to, click the actual thing. I don't like doing that on the TV. Right? Mike Krantz, I'm not familiar with the terminology, but assuming the CAGR vid was based on highs, I'm interested what the technicals look like using the lows. Well, they're kind of similar, Mike, because, higher highs and higher lows, so to speak, right? So they'd be slightly different, but when you see a higher high, like say 69 to 126, now you could also take 15.5 and then find a higher low, so to speak, and compare those CAGRs. Now, when you do CAGR from bottom of the bear market to the top of the bull market, it's a little different, but it's a little unrealistic because people don't really capture that gain, right? Some do. Most people on this channel did, I'm sure, but most people don't. So it's kind of an unrealistic vector. And at the end of the day, do we really want to know the CAGR from an assumed bottom to the next top, or do we really want to know from top to top, if you know what I mean? Because I'm more interested in top to top. Because, so for instance, if the CAGR diminishes, we can expect, with an 8% CAGR, right? Just half. We can expect around 170 for the 2029 top. It's just math, just basic CAGR. It's just the basic CAGR. Now, if we were to get the 16% CAGR, which would be reproducing the last CAGR, which we've never done before, we'd get 220. So that would be a 16% CAGR. But we've never reproduced the CAGRs. It's like thinking 2021, we'd get the 35% CAGR from 2017, 2021. We didn't. 16% CAGR. So it would just make sense that we would get a diminishing CAGR from top to top. Now, what does it matter if it goes down? Like, will we see 15.5 again? The only way we would see 15.5 is a mass capitulation event. Like, we're talking strategy unwinds every, like, I haven't heard of in a long time. Nakamoto, what was that? Like the Japanese hotel chain that just was like second in line. There's no second best. There's no second best. He said it. Right? There wasn't. I haven't heard of any of these guys. I remember there was a guy on X, Adam Livingston or something like that. He kind of exploded. He had a nice little delivery, but he was shilling these DATs like there's no tomorrow. Simple, like the one in the UK. I can't remember what it's called. I don't pay attention to a lot of these things because to me it's just, Fiat Frankensteins of Bitcoin. And then there was one in Canada too that he was like doing massive videos, like pumping their tires. And now they're like, they don't, I look on the chart and they're dead. Like they're not even charted. So they had this massive explosion due to the marketing of the initial pump. And then they literally went 99% down. So the only way we would see something like 15.5 or 20K, it would break the cycle that we matched the last cycle's bottom. Never happened before, right? Is with a strategy unwind. And what makes me think something is stinky in Stinksville is that Michael Saylor either knows something everyone doesn't, or he may go down as the most delusionally bullish CEO that humanity's ever seen.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this